Your family is very important to you. They bring you so much joy, laughter, fun, smiles, and love. If an unfortunate event occurred in your family, are you certain that they will be financially covered? Stress no more. Call and receive your free consultation today. And let's protect your family together.
How my journey began. It's graduation time. Family is very important to me, including my puppies. The Marine Corps played a huge role in my life and allowed me to be ambitious, inspiring, a mentor, and achieve all of my goals. As a financial expert, I've received multiple awards, done various events as a guest speaker all over the U.S. with my platform of creating healthy financial habits, along with having my own business, all leading up to my show. Come along for the journey.
Hello, Gems, and welcome. For the month of July, I will be highlighting different business owners in the health, fitness, and wellness industry. You are definitely going to want to be part of their journey and connect with them. Here are a few statistics on the fitness clothing industry. The global leggings market was valued at $29.1 billion in the year 2019 and is expected to reach $45.2 billion by the year 2026. Successful fitness apparel shop owners reported a starting capital of somewhere between $150,000 to $350,000, depending upon the size, amount of inventory, and geographical location of the business. The cost of a clothing production business can start as low as $50, not 50, 50 is good, but $500. If you're thinking of a medium-sized clothing company, then maybe your startup capital can be anywhere between $1,500 to $5,000, should be sufficient enough. However, you're thinking of a major clothing business, then somewhere between $20,000 to $50,000 is a perfect investment to start. The majority of clothing line annual salaries currently range between $23,000 to $82,000 annually across the United States. Give or take more, because every business is different and every owner has their own vision and view for what they do. All right, Gems. Now for today's guest. She was born in the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. Her favorite clothing item to wear is leggings. No brainer there. And of course, love it, love it. Her favorite accessory to buy are socks and hair clips. Love those both too. I have plenty of socks and hair clips. 3 words to describe her outlook on life are, yes, you can. I love that. Yes, you can. And she currently resides in Seattle, Washington. Gems, let's welcome Tina Hansen, and owner of Belcorva, to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Yes, yes, yes. You have an amazing story, and I can't wait to tell our Gems how it all got started. So let's go ahead and get started. How did Belcorva get created?
Well, it's a really great story, like you said. It was originally developed by a husband and wife couple in Utah. She was a passionate marathon runner, and leggings are what she lived in. And, they did an amazing job of building the brand. They did all that hard work, the lift in the beginning, finding all the manufacturers, developing the materials. And then, as things happened, their family just kind of exploded, and they realized that they wouldn't have enough time to dedicate to the brand. And so they made the really tough decision that it needed to continue on its journey with someone else. And I was so fortunate to find it. It felt like, for me, it was one of those kismet moments where what you kind of manifest in yourself, you actually find it. And so I've been thinking for a while that I really wanted to buy a business. I wanted to be a business owner. But it had to be within an industry or an area that I was passionate about. And so I'm passionate about exercise. I'm passionate about health and wellness. And so when I found this business, I was like, that's the thing. And so it happened really quickly.
Yeah.
It took like about a month to get it all closed. And then 45 boxes of clothes show up at my house. and so I run it out of my house. And it's been we're coming up on 2 years actually. And it has just blown by. It has just been the most amazing thing. And so, what I love about it is when I bought the brand, it had already developed a really core group of ladies who absolutely loved and supported this brand. And so I felt like there was no downside to this business decision for me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to pick apart that story just in a little bit. So I know the original developers was a marathon owner, not owner, but a runner. And if you've ever run, and I've never run a marathon, but I have run a little bit here and there's not a lot of pockets for you in those leggings. So kind of explain that journey. You have the fanny pack. The fanny packs bounce up and down. I've run with stuff in my hands, and then your hands start to cramp. You get sweaty. I put keys on shoelaces. Tina, I have done it all. It's just, it's not fun. So kind of explain that for her journey as well, how she kind of like said, okay, there has to be a better way than leaving a car unlocked and putting your stuff in there, having a second person come with you to hold your stuff, you holding your stuff. It gets crazy.
Yeah. So when they started developing this, that was back in 2015, and she was running marathons almost every weekend. And complaining constantly to her husband that, she has to either wear a fanny pack or she has to hold stuff. And, you want to listen to your phone. And if you're a distance runner, there are these gel packs, which are just kind of like compressed nutrients. And, so she would have to figure out a way to go. She was telling me she was shoving it in her exercise bra. And it just became this real issue for her that made the marathon not as enjoyable. And so, and she saw all the other women struggling with the same thing. Because back then, no other brand had pockets. They had that little waistband pocket maybe, but other than that, there wasn't anything. And so finally, I think her husband said, okay, I'm tired of listening to you complain about this. Let's just do it. And so she started sketching, and he started finding, manufacturers and doing the due diligence about what you do. And pockets were absolutely key to the design. And not only the pockets, the material itself was super important. And so you need a thicker material to hold up the pockets, because if you're going to put a phone in there, you're going to put a bottle of water, your keys, you've got your gel packs, what other materials you need. So the material needs to stand up to that. And so it took them about a year to find the right material, get the design right, get the pockets designed right. And wow, did it take off. And so when they first got all of the new clothing, they did a couple expos within a marathon. So like at least before the pandemic hit, but so every marathon they realized that people have to come and pick up their packets. So let's commerce that. Let's make that a buying event. And so vendors would come and sell their stuff that was, marathon running related. And so they started setting up booths at these marathons. And I mean, it just exploded. It was just an explosion of, oh my God, there are pockets on these pants. And the leggings themselves are just stunning. It's an amazing combination of soft and strong. We passed the bend test, which is super important for women. You don't want to be bending over to tie your shoe and all your business is out. And so those were the three really important things, is that the fabric had to be good, it had to be durable, soft, and then the pockets. And so it seemed like we cornered the market on that for at least a year. And then all the other brands started coming out with pockets. I really think that Belcorva was one of the first brands to come out with pockets in everything. Every pant has 4 pockets, and we have a pair of running shorts that have 5 pockets.
I love it. How did they come up with the name Belcorva? Because it's such a beautiful name.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's the combination of the first three of their oldest children.
Yeah.
And, one of their, not concerns, but one of their issues when I bought the business was, are you going to keep the name? And I'm like, absolutely.
It's a nice, cool name.
It's very unique.
Yep.
And, I think it really makes you think of running. It's hard to explain why that happens, but I think it does. And so, so I love the name. And then the logo was super important as well.
Tell us about the logo, the meaning of the logo, because it's a beautiful logo.
Yeah, and so they're in Utah, and so it's the Utah mountain range. I can't ever pronounce it right. It's the SAS. I can't ever pronounce it.
Don't worry.
And so for them, one of their missions when they began was tying in mental health. Mental health was a big issue for them, which was another real huge plus for me when I found the business, because it's also important to me. And so they wanted the logo to symbolize, a new beginning, a fresh start. The sun is rising. The mountains in the back symbolize, a lot of really interesting feelings for people. And so the logo and the name were absolutely essential for me to keep carrying on the brand.
I love it. And so how did you acquire the business? Because as you said, you were looking for a business. You were out there on the website. You knew you wanted something. And then boom, Belcorva came. How did all that come about? Because you're the first person, and I love different stories because you were out there looking for something.
I was actively looking. I was actively looking. I realized about, 15 years ago or so that I really felt like I had an entrepreneurial soul. I had my workaday job. I'd get up every morning, I'd get all dressed up and I'd drive to my job. And I was thankful I had a job, but it really wasn't what I think fed my soul in any way. And I kept wondering, what is missing? What is missing? And then I realized I really want to be an entrepreneur. I want to own my own business. I want to be the one that makes the decisions, good or bad. Mm-hmm. I own them. They're all mine. And put in my creativity to that. And so I've been actively looking for, probably 2-3 years for a business. And so I'd go on to a couple of the websites that sell businesses and never really found anything that was a great match, but I thought, I could make it work. And then I thought, that's not the right attitude. You don't want to have to make something work. And as soon as I found Belcorva, it was like every bell and whistle, the lights, the sun came out, the clouds parted. And it was like the thing that I've been waiting for most of my adult life. It hit all of my interest of activewear, leggings. I mean, my closet is nothing but leggings.
Love it.
So it fit my, the active lifestyle that I like, the health and wellness. And then when I read their About Us page, and it talked about mental health, it just sang to me that is absolutely a key factor for me personally, that when I'm in a sort of a low moment, get out and walk, get out and do something, get some exercise, just go for a walk, breathe the air, be outside. And, the connection of moving your body and moving your mind absolutely is a connection. And I just saw a study, it was so crazy the other day, they were talking about, there is absolute evidence that moving your body and moving your mind are connected. And so if I'm stuck on a problem, I go for a walk. And so when I read the listing on the website to buy the business, I said, that's it. It's mine.
Yeah, you found them in June 2019. And how long did it take to close?
Yeah, we closed by the beginning of August. So it took about 5 weeks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we were lucky that we were using a really great commercial real estate agency. And so, I got all the due diligence, I got all the documents, and, I did all my research, which, us ladies got to do. We got to do that research. We love that research. And, I had a couple concerns, but I thought I can overcome those. And the bigger benefit far outweighed what any of my concerns were. And so I'm just, I'm just over the moon happy with being a part of this really lovely brand and being able to keep going.
So how have you added your personal touch to the business? Because I know you changed colors, your manufacturing, and what's your kind of your social media, website, all of that. Because you obviously were keeping the same logo, but you're adding your personal touch to it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there was when I bought the business, there was a really passionate group of ladies who followed us that really loved this brand. And so I knew that the core pieces, there was probably 20 leggings that were the core group of the brand, that I had to keep those. I mean, there was just no way I could not carry those. But I also know for my passion, I love Pilates, I love yoga. And so I really wanted to bring in another line for those activities, because these pants, like I said, they're a thicker fabric to hold up for running, for strength training.
Yeah.
You can do a squat, no problem. And they really hold up. But I wanted a softer, more cottonish kind of feeling legging for the women who like to do yoga, who like to do Pilates. And so we added that. That took almost my first full year to develop that and find the right manufacturer, and then go through some samples before we found the one that we loved. And it's the softness of this fabric. I cannot explain to you how amazing these feel. They're just so great. And so then they said, we can do this in a skirt as well. And so we added a sports skirt, which is so freaking cute. It's got an inner short over the skirt. And so there's 2 pockets on the skirt and then a back zipper pocket. So the sports skirt has 3 pockets. And then the yoga and Pilates pants have 3 pockets as well, 2 on the side and the zipper pocket in the back for your key or lip balm or whatever. So, and so and then unfortunately COVID hit and things kind of got wonky. It kind of sidelined some of our plans. But, one of the things that's always important to me is just moving forward every day, moving forward. And if you just keep going forward, good things happen.
I love it.
Yeah. And so, this year, after all the craziness of last year, we're going to start trying to get back on track with some of the plans that we had. But yeah, it feels like the brand is really starting to expand in a really lovely way.
Yeah, because you're updating the website, and tell us about the colors. So, Jibs, if you haven't been to the Belcorva site, you need to go, because there's all kinds of different colors. You have stripes, you have patterns. Because typically, when the leggings first came out, there was just all black or, your solid colors. And then now we're starting to see more designs. But I love the Belcorva patterns because some of those designs are created by you and your design team.
Yeah.
So tell them about that, because sometimes, a lot of other business owners, it's somebody else that creates it, and they just say, yes, where these are your actual ideas. So you get to see your ideas on paper, and we get to wear your ideas. So tell us about that. Yeah.
So, I'm not a marathon runner. And so what I found interesting talking to some people is when you're out on a marathon, and you're trying to keep your pace, you try to focus on someone in front of you. Because then you can judge your pace. And so what I was hearing was women love to see a bright color object in front of them. And so they would focus on if, a woman in front of them was wearing, hot pink, which is a big running color, hot pink. They could focus on that hot pink and they could track with that. And so when the former owners were developing the patterns, she was like, they need to be bold and bright. No more of this just solid color, bleh. And so she was a really great designer and came up with just amazing designs. Stripes are our thing. We love stripes. Our ladies love stripes. And then from that, some different patterns of stripes and different colors. And so we are mainly a bold, bright, colorful brand. And when I bought it, I knew that was such a singular focus of this brand that it had to remain. There's a ton of other brands out there that they can do all the black and the blue and the solid and the gray. They can do those really well, but we're going to be the brand that is super bright, super colorful, super fun. And so over the 2 years, I've come up, I do all the designs myself. Like I'll see a pattern of something. It could be a dress. It could be a wallpaper, something in a room. And I think, oh my gosh, I really love that design. And then I'll go home and start sketching some stuff. And then I come up with the original idea. And then I work with the designer at our manufacturer. And between all of us, we come up with the design. And it's so much fun. It is so much fun.
Yes, and they are so unique, and I love the patterns. So what makes Belcorva unique? I know you've mentioned the soft and the strongness of them, but tell us about affordability and pockets and all this other good stuff.
Yeah. So one of the things that was super important to the brand in the beginning, and that I recognized was super important, was affordability. I don't understand how a pair of leggings can cost $120. That just makes no sense to me. And then after buying the business and knowing how it all works, it's just outrageous to me that there are brands that are charging $120. And so it was so important for me to keep the brand at a really low price point. And so our capris are $39, our pants are $48, our shorts are $38, and I am, even after all the COVID craziness, and we had a couple issues with the supply chain, I am determined to keep it at that price point for as long as I can, because again, I don't want a woman who is struggling with her weight, her health, her mental health. I don't want the price of a pair of leggings to be the thing that stops her from starting a journey. And so it's so important to me. And every day I have women reach out to me to say, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do this, and I found your leggings, and every day they're so cute. I just feel so good about myself when I put them on and go for a run or go for a walk or, just do whatever. And so that was super important for us.
Yes, it's a feel-good brand, and everything is below $50. That's what I like. It's below $50. It's not one pair of leggings that's below 50, and then another one, like you said, it jumps up, and you're like, oh my gosh, $120-something. It's like, no. So definitely love that about Belcorva. And I love this next one about the idea of incorporating socks. So tell us how that kind of came about too.
So the first year that I owned the brand, came up pretty quickly to Black Friday. And I thought, I need to do a giveaway. I want to do a giveaway. I want to say thank you to our really great supporter, the women who support us. They call themselves the Belcorva Squad, which I love. And so I thought, let's do a giveaway. And so I started thinking, what do I love? And it was socks. I mean, socks, I love socks. In the winter, they're just, there's nothing better than putting on a warm, cozy pair of socks.
Right.
So I found a great brand that we do a giveaway for socks. And then it was huge. I mean, the response was amazing. It was like these women were like, oh my God, I love these socks. And they're like, they're not even that great. But so then that got me thinking that, I think that's a next step for us, is to start adding a couple accessories. And I mean, I don't know about you, but like after I do a hard workout and I come home and I get all cleaned off and everything, putting on a pair of socks is like, oh, I did it. I made it. And so we're in the very early stages now of developing a sock, and finding a manufacturer to help do that. And so I am super excited about that. I love socks.
I love it. I always say that socks are like giving your feet a warm hug. Like, oh my gosh, the comfort and just the softness of the socks. So we can't wait for that to come out. Yeah. So you've mentioned it before, but Belcorva is an advocate for mental health. And tell about this passion and some of the partnerships that you have with Still Live Run, because these are, as a Marine and part of the veteran and active military community, mental health is so important. And that's one of the things that kind of struck me about Belcorva is the mental health awareness that you guys are also giving to your community. So tell us about that partnership.
Yeah, that was one of those things when I found the brand and I read their page, and when I landed on the mental health, it just gave me the shivers because it was so deeply important to me. Um, I have friends, I personally have dealt with mental issues, depression at times. And I know for me personally, when you get out and move your body, something happens. There's a connection there. And so for me, that was a huge component of this brand that I was on board 100,000% to keep going. And so I was trying to find the right brand or the right partner to join with and create a kind of a plan for people. So I reached out to this community, or maybe she reached out to me, now I can't remember, but it's called Still I Run. And they're a huge proponent of exercise and mental health. And I think that they have a large population of veterans. I think that's a large part of their group. And, I know for me, the vets in my life, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And so there's that struggle that you're dealing with, but then there's also the point of, you don't feel like there are any avenues for you to go to start, an exercise plan. I think when we're in that low point, it's really hard to see through the darkness and find something. And so, I talk about mental health a lot on our social pages. It's a huge part for me. And I think we've gained a lot of traction in that area, and we opened it up to a whole other group of people who think that, these brands, especially the really, really pricey ones, they're for a certain type of woman. They're for the really, really put together gal who's got it all and she just likes to go do yoga or whatever. And so for us, I wanted to be, a little scrappier brand that gave you great quality product at a really affordable price that would allow you to start your journey, your health journey. And every day, I get messages from one of our ladies who told me that, she saw a pair of pants and it was so beautiful. And she goes, I don't fit them now, but they're my goal.
But they're your goal.
Oh my God, that just made my tears well up, my eyes well up with tears. And sure enough, this one gal, she was able to, reach some weight goals, and she bought a pair of the rainbow capris, which is our biggest seller. They are such a beautiful pair of pants. I can see how they would be aspirational.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. And so I think there's a lot of unspoken trauma and mental health going on in the world. And I think that is particularly specific to vets. Yes. I think they silently struggle.
Yes.
And we have to get rid of that stigma.
Absolutely.
We have to get rid of that.
And I love that. I love that Belcorva is part of that awareness. So what is the vision for Belcorva in the years to come?
Growth, a lot of growth. I mean, we just want to keep on growing. I think, that's a motto for me personally. And I think that for the brand, when you're a living, breathing brand, it has to constantly be moving. And so we're adding new designs. We're looking for new fabrications. I listen to all of the comments that I get through social media and when people email saying, you should do this, or you should have that color, or you should have, and I'm like, bring it on. I'd love to get all that feedback because it really informs how we plan the future. And actually, when I say we, it's just me. I'm the woman-owned business. It's just me. And it is absolutely the most fun I've ever had. And so I want to just keep that going and just keep the brand evolving and growing.
Absolutely. Your brand influencers, your ambassadors, people who are Belcorva cheerers. I love that. And I love the fact too, you mentioned it, but it's all about women. It's all about, the women-owned, women partners, because women understand women. We understand our struggles. We understand what it means to look at a piece of clothing and say, I'm going to get in those. It's going to take me a minute, but trust and believe, you will see a picture of me in those favorite pair of leggings. So I Love that. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to share. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm just a real big proponent of women supporting women. And, I think that's the only way we're gonna make it out of some of the craziness that we're facing is women supporting women. And, that's a huge part for me.
I love it. I love it. So I'm excited to share this great offer with our gym. So what is the Belcorva discount code? I love it. I love it.
Well, we do a lot of discount codes for our influencers because, we have a great program that if an influencer, promotes their code and they get enough sales, they get free clothing. Yay! And so we have for your audience a GEMS 10. And so they get 10% off all objects. And there's no end date. It just keeps going. I have codes that I set up, we set up like 5 years ago that people still use. And so GEMS 10 for your viewers and 10% off.
10% off. Gyms, you can't beat that. Go and buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care how many bells are Belcorva, but you need to start with at least one. So Tina, thank you for sharing your experience, your knowledge with us today. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you. All right, gyms, it's time for your financial gems. Your financial gems for today are put money in a separate account that you don't have a debit or credit card associated with it to access the money, and use the money for vacations. We all want to take them. Why not treat yourself with your savings specifically for that? Number 2, start a 401k as soon as possible. We've heard that over and over again. It's never too early to start your retirement savings. Number 3, love this one, eat at home. Learn to cook. Learn to cook. I always say, if you can read, you can cook. Just read. It's okay. It may not come out 100% the first time, but the more and more you cook at home, the more and more you practice, the better and better your meals will come. I promise. Number 4, have a vision for your expansion. As you've heard Tina said, she's been expanding. She's listening to people and what they say they want. I like this color. I like this. She's like, ooh, you guys like socks. She's listening. So have that vision for your expansion because it's going to come. And number 5, love what you do. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like she said, when Tina was looking at the website and all these other businesses for sale, they really didn't speak to her. Don't pick something that doesn't speak with you. You're just being a miserable person with a lot of money. So definitely love what you do. All right, Gems, it's our show custom to have every guest provide our gems with an inspirational quote. So Tina, what is your personal inspirational quote you'd like to share with us today?
Well, this is a big one because it really does hit me in all my feels, and it's believe in yourself. Believe in your gut feeling, and if something feels right, it feels right. And believe in yourself. Trust your abilities, and have some confidence in that, and just believe in yourself. And I think when women start doing that, great things happen.
I love it. Believe in yourself. You can never be too much about yourself. Believe in yourself. I love it. Be your own advocate. So this is good. Tina, thank you for being a guest on the show today and being part of our journey.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. So Gems, creating healthy financial habits is a lifelong commitment. Remember, without change, there be no butterflies. Changing habits, changing lives, and changing futures are all up to you. Till next time, Gems, take care.